Hey everyone, welcome. I wanted to show today my makes, and also this video is going to be under the hashtag Crowvember because I've been watching Ginger Cat Crochet and Craftably Ever After, and they've been talking about Crowvember, which is showing, I guess, your Christmas makes in November. So yeah, I've been doing some this year. I didn't really do much last year, but now I'm getting into some Christmas makes for this year. And my focus for today, right now, or what I've been focusing on this past week, are Christmas trees. So my very first one I did is by MJ's Off the Hook, and it is a bobble tree. So I had to do some adjustments because her original pattern is with a bulky yarn, and this is a 4-weight Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. I had a ton of green because last year there was someone that had asked if I could do a racetrack rug for their kid, and then they backed out of it. So I had a ton of green, black and white, and so I was thinking, okay, well, what can I do with green? And so here we are, very close to Christmas. Can you believe it? 2023 is almost over. And so here is the very first one. And so yeah, I just decided, I'm like, I'm gonna do some Christmas trees, it'd be fun. And I've been thinking a lot of them. And then the second one that I decided to make was from Bango Days pattern. So I had to make some adjustments with that one as well because hers was also with a bulky yarn. And when I was on Pam's live, Be Creative Craft, she was talking about how she made hers, and she also made some adjustments and made hers like a little skinnier. And so I kind of like that one, or I was gonna make both Crystal's original pattern and then make a skinny one, but so I kind of made some adjustments, but it didn't quite come out skinny, but that's fine. I really like it anyway. And then also I added a little bit of embellishment, so here it is. And of course all these patterns, like, they used cones, except that the last one they stuffed it, but so I kind of did it in reverse. So the first two, they use cones to, put the finished Christmas tree over. The first one, I just stuffed it and sealed the bottom. And then this one, I decided I wasn't going to stuff it and I wasn't going to use a cone. I really don't want to have to go out and get more material, something else on top of yarn. So I just kind of left it unstuffed. And it sits fine. So like if I sit it right here on the table, you see, it sits fine. Right, because it's pretty, stiff well enough that it can just sit on its own. So her original pattern, Crystal's original pattern, is when she does the branches, it's chain of 5. And what Pam did, she did a few rows of chain 3s and then moved on to chain 5s later. What I did was chain 3 at the top, a few rows of chain 3, and then I changed it to all chain 4s. So all the rest of it was all chain 4s. And so this is how it came out. And my husband's like, oh, well, why don't you, like, add something to it? And I can't remember what he said, maybe add some ornaments or something. And I'm like, well, I can't really do ornaments because they need to be quite small. I guess micro ornaments, but I wasn't gonna, go through the trouble of making a ton of different, and I don't even know. I guess, I could figure out maybe how to make some tiny balls or something. I don't know. But I came up with this idea of like a garland. And so this is the same yarn as my first tree, the Crafter's Secret Hobby Lobby, in green. And then for this red, I went through my stash to see what I have, because I haven't really bought red, which there's some specific colors I really need to remember to get next time I'm able to do some yarn shopping, because I'm finding out there's so many things that I want to do and make, and those colors like seem to be common colors, like orange and red, yellow and green. And so I'm finding myself, when I do buy yarn, I always seem to not get those colors, and so now I need to make a, like, purposely get those colors. So anyway, thankfully I did have some red, and this is red. It's from, I think, a Swedish company. It was a pack of red that I won from someone, like, within the first year that I started even crocheting, so that was in 2021. So I won that quite a long time ago and just hadn't gotten around to using it. And so this was perfect. It's like it's actually like a roving, it's like a roving 1/2 weight, and so I think it was perfect actually for this, the size of that yarn. And so I just kind of started at the top. I just got the yarn hooked in here, and then just started doing chains, and would do what I felt was long enough, and then would connect it to one of the leaves or the branches, and I would just go around, do a bunch of chains, and then connect, do a bunch of chains and connect, and did that all the way around. So what do you think? I thought that was pretty neat. And because I didn't really have a really cool colorway like Crystal has, and the one that she did in her video. So it just seemed a little bit plain with this plain green. So so yeah, I kind of like this, how it came out. And I don't know if I should do a star on top or not. What do you guys think? Should I add a star on top or just leave it as is? So this is number 2. And then my very last one for right now is, the pattern is, oh, I forgot the name of the channel. I'll put it up on screen. And so this channel, there's no speaking, but she does do the, I think, written instructions on the screen as she does the tutorial. And hers was originally, her original one was about like this tall, and it was stuffed as well. I didn't really quite like the look of it stuffed, so, you know, like Bag O' Days pattern, I just left it open and I didn't stuff it. But so like I said, it was really small. I wanted it a little bit bigger, and didn't really actually mean to make it this big, but ta-da! Here's number 3. So it came out to be just about as big as Bag O' Days pattern. Yeah, same height. Didn't really mean it to be that big, but I wanted it a little bit, I kind of wanted it in between my first one and my second one, but I kind of forgot and forgot to stop. So yeah, and it's funny too, it's like if for storage purposes, this one can fit right in here, and or you can even, you know, putting it away, you can even squish it and lay it flat, and then, you know, when you want to take it out the year afterwards, and just fluff it up. So anyway, yeah. And so I made a tweak on this pattern as well, because the way that person designed that this pattern was to make the green tree first without these, I guess, branches or leaves, whatever you want to call it. It just made the base cone of the tree, and then she did it with like that one row where it's supposed to be, she would do it in the back loop so that you would see the front loop, and that's where you would add the branches after you were done with the base of the tree. And I didn't want to go through that, because then that means each row you'd have to do the green, cut the yarn, do the white. The next row, do the green, cut the yarn, do the white, cut the yarn. You know what I mean? And that was just a lot of sewing, a lot of weaving of the ends afterwards. And so I made it to where the rows where in the pattern she would start doing the back loop only row, I actually would do this first and do it in the front loop, and then after I was done with this branch row, then I would go into that same row and do the back loop of it and continue on with the pattern. So that way then I made this tree with the green branches. So then after this was all done, then all I had to do was come back and put in the white trimming and cut the yarn. So the only ends that I had to weave in were all the white ends for each row. So yeah, I'm really glad I did it that way, because it was just would have been a whole lot longer and more ends to weave in, because having to double on each row. So I didn't have to cut any of the green yarn at all until I was done at the very bottom. And then of course the pattern came with the star. And so that, yeah, each one took like obviously these two bigger trees definitely took much longer. I think this one only took me about like 3 hours to make. These took a little bit more than double that. And but yeah, well worth it, because I really like how they look and how they came out. And so yeah, it was just fun doing different designs on Christmas trees. And then I haven't gotten to it yet, but the next one I'm going to do is a small amigurumi type tree. I'll put the picture up right here. And I can't remember. Oh, it was it's by Stringy Ding Dings. So that it's her pattern, and it's very similar to this without, I think, was it? I can't remember now if it did have the white trimming or not. But basically it's like this style, and of course the rows in between these branches are further apart, and it's a small tree. It probably goes about this tall, and then it only has, I think, 3 rows of these, and then the very last section in between the rows is where you put the face, the eyes, and the mouth, you know, to make it amigurumi and make it a cute little Christmas tree toy kind of a thing. So anyway, so that's my next one. So these are my 3 that I did this past week and a half, really, I think. So yeah, so together these are the 3 that I made. Isn't they cool? I always usually do share like some funny stuff that I find on the internet. So that's because we could always use a good laugh, and I want to share it because some of them are just hilarious, so have to share. So my share for this week is, and I think I have talked about this channel, I don't know how many videos back, but a good while back, and it is the channel called Jolly. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that channel, but they are these 2 British guys. Then they do some hilarious stuff. They've kind of changed things around, and a lot of their more recent videos it's almost a little bit more like food vlogging, but previously they did some different things, and they would do some crazy and wild things. But this one particular video, I think it's like 2 years old, or maybe even 3 years old, I wanted to share. It is where they bought a cotton candy making machine and started making cotton candy out of all sorts of different kinds of candy. So they started off with Jolly Ranchers. Funny because, you know, their channel name is called Jolly, and then they moved on to some other crazy things, and then I can't remember all the ones they did, but there's this one particular part of this video that I'll just show right here next to me, and so that we can so you can just get a taste of what the craziness and how hilarious it is. So yeah, here. And so this clip that I'm showing is where they are now taste testing the spiciest. They made this last bit of cotton candy out of the spiciest candy called the toe of Satan, and I can't remember what pepper it was made out of, but I think, and I don't remember the Scoville units on that particular pepper, but it crazy high and crazy spicy. I mean, it's called the toe of Satan, so yeah, you can just imagine, and their reaction is just absolutely hilarious.
Why are you doing it? This is bad. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. I've got a lot in
And the guy on the right, his name is Ali, and he has just the funniest reaction. I mean, his facial expression, oh my gosh, this thing had me cracking up when I first watched it. And it was just insane. And of course, both of them, even the guy to the left, his name is Josh. Oh my goodness. And as you can see,
This was a bad idea, Ollie.
and as you can see, even the milk was not helping them relieve that spicy pain. But anyway, so you just have to check out the video, because they start out mild, obviously, with the Jolly Rancher, and then they go on to some other different ones, like, and they used cinnamon candy, and but anyway, it was just a funny video. So the other thing I wanted to share was, like, we as a family the other night, every so often we'll do like I guess you can call it a fasting of social media, entertainment, and things like that, like, because we're in such a electronic age, digital age kind of a thing, that then my husband really felt like it would be good for us to kind of just unplug for the day, I guess, basically unplug, right? Unplug in the sense that so for us it was no entertainment, no watching anything, no playing any games, no going on social media. My kids aren't really on it anyway, but so for them it's just really no playing games, no watching anything on YouTube, no, so the only thing was that we could do was just, read, do what they do, like draw and stuff like that, and just find something else to do, basically, besides getting on the internet. All right, so we do that every once in a while, and it's definitely not the easiest thing, but it's good. It's really good just to completely unplug every once in a while and just, you know what I mean, and really kind of also reconnect as a family kind of a thing, to kind of force you to, I don't know, talk and have some quality time kind of a thing. So anyway, my point in saying all that was that I wanted to share too that what we did was at the end, like later on in the evening, we used to always do like game night like once a week, but we kind of slacked off on that really bad. So but it was good. So that night we did we did spend some time doing game night, and so the two games we did. There's one game in which I would highly recommend this game, whether or not you have kids, because I really enjoy it as an adult. I mean, it's a game. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if that game. It may be that it was made like with the intention for kids, or not. But whatever. It's the game that we all enjoy, because this is a game we actually played quite often, and from when our kids were little, because this was a game my aunt had sent me, I think when my oldest was born, a few years after my oldest was born, I can't remember, when my kids were little. And so it's called Rat-a-Tat-Cat. Sorry if I didn't say it. It's called Rat-a-Tat-Cat. So if you like board games, or not necessarily board game, because that's actually not a board game, it's a card game, but if you like games, if you do family game nights, this is a game I really recommend. And you do need, it's a good game for, I can't remember if it was required 4 or more players or 3 or more players. 2 players you can't really, it's just not fun. But it's but for us, a family of 4, perfect. And then so that's a game we did. And then it's funny, we actually realized we had been playing it wrong all this time. All of a sudden, because we hadn't played this game in quite some time, we needed to read the instructions again for some of the rules. And then all of a sudden I noticed there was this rule where, that we actually hadn't been following. And so we decided to actually go play with it as it was originally intended, and it was a bit more challenging. So, but it was good. It was still good. Anyway, so what I wanted to share all that was to this other game, really, that I highly recommend, called Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. It's also a card game, but it is like, I think this would probably be a really good game for like a party game where like you have a bunch of people. I don't know what's a good maximum amount of people to play that game, but it's pretty good. I think maybe even possibly like 7 or 8 people. I think it could go far, because you're supposed to distribute all the cards in the deck. So I'm not sure. Yeah, so I don't know if you can go too much more than 8, 9, or even 10. But anyway, it's a card game, but a warning with this one, your fingers can, your hand and fingers can get scratched and a little bit, because it's one of those games where you have to be quick with your hands and slap the pile, and because you're supposed to, the objective of the game is to get rid of all your cards. And so, each round, I'm not really going to go talking about it because it'll be too long, but to explain it, but there's videos of it. You search YouTube for this card game and watch how you play it. But so my whole thing is, I wanted to share is if you do game nights, or if you haven't even thought of doing game nights, or that you would like to do game nights with your family, your kids, or even for a party, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza is a good one for family or for parties. The other one, Rat Attack Cat, not so much for parties, but just good for family game nights. So just thought I'd share that, recommend it. There are several other games that we have that I really like and would recommend, but maybe I'll share that another time. Or if you want, just feel free to comment and ask me what other games that we have that I would recommend. So, but yeah, just wanted to share what we were doing, and to maybe even if you may think it'd be a good idea for your family to even unplug for a day. It's just really good. It's just really good. You know what I mean? And you may suffer a little bit of withdrawal, but it's only for a day. And, one day you can do it. I mean, obviously, you don't unplug like if you needed to, check your emails, but I'm just talking about like, just for the things that are not necessary, not a necessity, like staying off Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, things like that, and just really taking the time to do something else with your time. Listen to an audiobook, read an audiobook, read a book, or listen to an audiobook, or find something else to do. Crafting, obviously for us, we're crocheters, maybe, we focus, then you can really put more time into whatever your project that was, that you were behind on, you know what I mean? But just something else to occupy your time besides social media and the internet kind of a thing. But yeah, just wanted to share what we were doing recently. And and then one last thing I wanted to share was I won my very first Instagram giveaway. I've entered quite a few on Instagram, not so much on Instagram. I entered more on YouTube, but this was the very first time I actually won. And I will put up the person's name or Instagram account that I won from, and I won a dog lovey pattern. So I'll show it right there as well. And I can't remember, I think she reached a milestone or something, or that she was doing the giveaway for, or it could have just been just because, I can't remember, but just wanted to share. It was really cool. So I mean, definitely if you have never thought of entering on Instagram, hey, give it a shot. I've been entering for a while, and not as much, like I said, on YouTube, but yeah, I mean, people do win. I've won. Yeah, I mean, it was a pattern. Hey, yeah, it wasn't a whole lot, it wasn't like a huge prize, but it was still a prize. And you all know how patterns, how the cost of patterns adds up. $5 here, another $5 there, another $3 here, You know what I mean? If you end up getting like 10, 15 patterns, I mean, that adds up. So yeah. One last thing. Thank you so much for sticking with me this long. I keep forgetting to share, and I finally remembered to put it in my notes to share. My daughter, my oldest, has an amazing gift, and she's funny about me talking about her and sharing her work, but I will put up her Instagram account here. If you like art, if you feel free to give her a follow. If you're not interested, don't, okay? But I just had to brag on her. She has an amazing talent, a gift from God in this regard. And you can see some of the stuff that she has done. Just, I mean, I'm just amazed. I noticed and I knew something about her when she was 5. I'll never forget it. Because I homeschool, and she was drawing, and it was her time to just, draw. And she drew watermelon. Something as very simple as watermelon. But there was something about it, and I can't describe it, and I wish I kept it. I don't have it, and I don't even have a picture of it. I wish I at least took a picture of it. But there was just something about her drawing that I knew there was something about her, this skill. I just knew that she was, skilled in this. And yeah, like I said, I can't describe it. It was just really, I just thought for her age, it just looked so, I guess, real, and just, very different from other, like, kitty drawings, you know what I mean? But anyway, so from then I knew, and I wasn't surprised as she grew older, and I could see her skill just, wow. And so now here's where she's at, and never taken any kind of class at all whatsoever. And this is what she does. And as you can see, I'm showing it, kind of scrolling through her account, and you could see the things that she's done. I'm just amazed, and I just had to brag. And so she's looking to start doing commissions, and she actually kind of did. There was someone from our church that actually paid her to do some like fashion drawings, sketches, I guess, because this one lady, she's starting like a swimsuit company, like a modest swimsuit company, and so she had some ideas of the different kind of designs that she wanted, and so she asked her to draw her like sketches of that, and paid her. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, so this is definitely the path that she's taking, and she's really really thinking on what she can do with that, and how, and what's her style, what's her focus, so that she knows exactly what she would offer as commissions. But yeah, so anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for staying and listening and watching and commenting and subscribing. So anyway, if you watched all the way to the end of the video, please just put down in the comments art, ART, just so I know that you actually watched to the end, and I'm just really curious to see who watches to the end. So anyway, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed my makes, and I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!